Alright boys, we're becoming musicians.
Tune in to find out why.
Episode 33 of the MacPack Podcast.
G'day and welcome to the MacPack Podcast.
We're back.
My name's Shane McKenna, and to my left this week, it's the younger brother and potentially our best rapper. It's my little brother, Joe.
Look, I'd like to think I am, but I think we're gonna have to leave that up to the audience to decide.
Fair enough.
You set some fat beats this time last week.
Oh yeah, some fat beats, some
and-
lots of bars.
and
We were wilding out.
We've done a little pre-episode recording this week as well, which you'll hear soon enough. And to my right, coming in at 6'1" as he does each and every week, it's the baby brother, Junior Boy. How are you?
It was good to warm up the vocal cords. You might see me breaking out into song in this episode.
Ooh.
Very exciting indeed. You can expect that. You can expect a chat about boat cruises, party buses,
Ooh.
all sorts. We got
two vomit stories.
We do, and we have
Oh,
a
yeah.
discussion about when we were in the studio last week. We play a brand new game, and we've got an everyday hero who is obsessed with parking. Let's get into it. Boys, big week.
Huge week.
Massive week.
We're in the studio a little bit earlier this week. Normally in here, sometimes we've been leaving it late. Now that we've got the new setup, we can afford to do it a little bit later than what we used to.
Yeah.
And we're sort of
like the infamous Friday recording.
yeah, we're abusing that privilege a fair bit. We're in the studio on the Sunday night.
The weekend's just happened. It's Mother's Day.
It's not a bad way to spend the Sunday evening.
We gave our mum a
Bit of
big hug today.
Bit of a
Yeah, we
weekly debrief. We did indeed.
A big MacPack group hug.
yeah, big cuddle. A big cuddle, making everything cuddly.
Making everything cuddly. Yeah.
You're too
Very
young.
sweet.
But yeah, big night last night.
I heard you boys were on a river cruise.
Yes,
we did.
were.
We had one of our.
How bougie from you two.
We had one of
River
our.
cruise.
We had one of our mates' 21st. We dropping a name.
Yeah, he's
Oh yeah, we have to.
Yeah,
he's
does
the drum
drums.
guy. Yeah, he's the infamous drum guy. So
He's the guy, yeah.
If he's not on the camera, but he's sitting there, and then basically whenever he thinks that we should wrap up a segment, he just
does
plays a little thing on his
whacking the
drums.
He was actually the first intro song that we had was his as well. Nick Altman, Deep Days.
His artist name. Yeah, his song. So we asked him to send us some. You know, he knew that it was for the podcast. Send us some instrumentals or whatever. The one we originally used was called "Sad."
We tried to
We thought
not
it'd be
jazz it
alright.
up, but use like an element of it that was
The
like
happy bit.
Yeah, if you listen back to it, it is quite sad, and I'm glad we went. I'm glad
It's nice.
it was a good
It
start,
just
but
doesn't really fit what we
no, it's
the
not.
tone of the show.
Well, I feel like the show has since evolved. The banjo guy, so Nick sits in one corner, and
And
we've
the
got Banjo Bobby in the
Ben
other corner.
sound.
Put your hands together for Banjo Bobby and Deep Days.
Yup.
One of the first like feedback I got from a listener, like a constructive criticism feedback, was she was like, "Yeah, like I listened to it and I'm just so sad at the start, and then it's
with
like
the
you
old
guys
intro.
doing gags, but it's like
because we used to
The
come
old
in,
bait switch.
we used to come in on the beat, and we'd come in pretty hard, but it was like
the music
quite
is
a
still sad.
yeah. It was
Anyway.
good, and we're forever
was
grateful
good.
for it.
But
It
now
got us
it's
off
very
to-
happy.
Got us off to a good launch.
I don't think he listens.
Nah,
enough.
he's in the corner. He's got his
Yeah.
he's got his headphones
Aside
on.
from when he
He's
listens,
He
listening.
listens to other
And
podcasts.
he's listening to that
He's
song.
listening to Joe Rogan.
But yeah, it was a decent evening. I came out. I actually behaved myself. I didn't drink too much and came out to piss. What is that
Congratulations,
supposed to
Jackie boy.
What is that supposed
He's
to
finally
mean?
come out.
Yeah. I came out to piss at one point, and I saw you standing on the back of the boat.
Ooh. Joe doing a bit of Titanic action.
And you
No.
were seated next.
Not quite.
You were seated next to a girl who listens to the show. Do we drop
Big
her name?
fan. Oh,
She
maybe
would-
not.
Would she be embarrassed?
Maybe we'll say her name now and we'll ask her and then we can beep
bleep
it
it.
out.
Yeah, we'll say her name once and once only. Megan Murray.
Yeah, big fan. Loves
Huge
the
fan.
show.
Loves-
also
loves the
loves a
show.
drink.
Oh, yeah.
And a vom, because I've come out. You two have been sitting on the back of the boat, and there was a man who looked a little bit like Elton John.
He did, yeah.
And he really enjoyed when Elton John came on late in the night, and he was given a bit of like
Did he have the
real like,
glasses?
Saturday night's so right with me. No, he didn't have the glasses. He just had
He had
the novel
the
style.
stature.
glasses.
He just had the stature.
So
But I've come out the back and he's spraying down the back of the boat. And I'm like,
no.
man,
with
what?
a broom.
I was like, maybe like,
broom.
because it didn't feel like we had gone too intense into the water. Like we weren't smacking waves or anything. I was
Nah.
like, man, like what's happened? Something's obviously like.
Going on.
Yeah, I thought we might have hit a wave and like heaps of. Nah, he's just like
Titanic
spraying.
situation.
He's just spraying because you can start to see like chunky bits of vomit as you're walking out to go to the pisser. Quite delightful indeed. Quite a scary thing because I like pounced my way through the vomit and the puddles.
How big was the boat?
Big enough, but the
Surely it's
vomit
not hard enough a task to get it over the edge.
Oh yeah, it could have.
Yeah, that's what I
were you
said.
there?
So I picked a very unfortunate time to go to the bathroom.
Nice.
So I went out. and
Probably
then
mere moments before I
the
decided.
three bathrooms were occupied. And then one of them had vomit seeping,
Oh, nice.
seeping under the door.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, oh, that one doesn't come out first.
So she went into the toilet. She could have just hung herself off the
I
back of the boat.
know, I know.
Like so much surface
yeah.
area, just like everywhere except
the entire
where you are.
India.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
Swan.
shoot down. Just like spray it amongst
So
the boat.
and then the guy came out, like one of the crew members, whatever, one of the seamen came out.
Jesus.
Oh, I thought this was a story of vomit.
Yeah, we do real highbrow gags on the show. Yeah, so he had come out and he like he unlocked the door because the door was still locked.
From
and
the
then,
outside.
Yeah, and then
Is that allowed?
At that point.
I think she must have been in there for a while.
Was this before or after the scene?
Continue. We no more mentions. Continue.
Yeah, and then so she came out and I was like, classic, that girl, you know, typical.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, okay, you know, this guy's gonna clean up and look after her or whatever.
What a legend.
Well,
And
the
then-
guy who's on the boat, like working.
Yeah.
Captain.
That's not gonna happen.
Anyway, so he puts her on a chair, and then he looks at me, goes,
She's your problem
Yeah.
now.
make sure she's all right. I was like, oh fuck,
Dog out.
we're not that close.
Nice.
Anyway, so
She
he
was
was
hearing this. She probably didn't know that at the time. She's like, "Oh, Joe's really nice."
Yeah,
She's
see, now I'm
saving me."
worried because she probably doesn't remember a lot of the night.
It's probably a good thing.
And now I'm, you know, filling in the gaps, I guess.
I went to the toilet, like hurdled my way through the puddles of spew and got my way to.
Is this her spear?
Yeah, still. How many people do you think are fucking?
I thought you said
spewing
there's
on the-
two spear stories.
Oh, there's one later in the.
Ooh.
And so I'm in the cubicle,
Foreshadow.
and he must have come back to spray more because I'm pissing, and then all of a sudden, like I'm standing there, and there's just like water and spew coming in from the back, like from the door,
From the next cubicle down.
and I'm like, "Fuck this, man! Like I didn't plan to be,
Yeah.
I didn't plan to be here." Like when he's just
Neither
like,
did he, I don't
when
think.
he's just like spraying spew on me, and I've walked out. He's got like a full
Face mask.
No, he's got like a full blown broom. And he's like pushing the spew
Oh.
into my cubicle, like some
Yeah,
fucking-
yeah.
Prank.
like some madman.
So-
I just looked at him. I was like, "Thanks, man." And what did I do?
Nice.
So,
Jeez.
so his cleaning process was dumping water onto the vomit and then
Yeah.
brushing it sort of away from where it was
But-
with a broom.
Oh, surely just put anywhere else other
And
than
yeah, because this thing, there was so much water and it was like coming towards me, and I'm like trying to
hop
step
her
out
out.
of it, but I'm also like
Remi-
making sure that she doesn't fall off this stool that you
surely
put her
there's
on.
like a plug like in a bath that you can just like pop the plug and all the
Vomit goes.
I don't know. There has
Giving
to
you
be.
PTSD of metros.
And
Has to
then
be
so anyway, the guy, what I thought was really funny was the guy doing it. He multiple times he like looked away and was like like basically dry heaving. Like
Oh.
he was so
Elton.
He was legit gonna throw up. He didn't in the end. It was so funny because like, you know, we worked at the cinema. We've all cleaned our fair share of vomit.
Yeah.
And shit. You know, it's not the worst, but like
It's not Flash.
it's I don't really think it's. I've never dry. There was a lot.
Oh no,
once.
I have. Yeah, and it had a real potent pong to it.
And then, so basically, I was in charge of making sure that she was on the stool, which is not the most engaging job. So I was
Yeah.
also on my phone. And then there was like a split second where I wasn't paying attention, and then the next thing, the girl was
She's
on
rolled.
on the floor in the water in the vomit, and I was like, oh. Fuck, like that was literally the one thing he asked me to do was like make sure she doesn't fall off. I was like, yeah,
Make sure she doesn't drown in a puddle of vomit in her throat.
and, yeah, and then she was just, you know, and then we eventually moved to the side away from the vomit, but she was just like, her dress was like wet with like,
Oh.
Vomit. Vomit
Yeah,
water.
vomit water.
The most embarrassing part for me, and the part that I really didn't appreciate, was when we had to stop the boat for her to get off.
Yeah, we dropped her off at
really?
a jetty somewhere.
But it was quite a humiliating thing because, like,
Was she by
we,
herself?
we all knew that we were getting off for her, and she was sort of like standing there, and it took them fucking forever to dock the boat. So we're like, for like 10 minutes, the dude's just like trying to line it up with the ladder, going, man.
Parallel park.
I was like, Julie, just like leave her on the. We only had like half an hour left.
Yeah, and everyone
Just
else.
sit her out the back where she was. She wasn't causing anyone harm. Then we ended up, I don't know, it was real public for her, and I didn't appreciate that. But, well.
Hey, you win some, you lose some. I
You
guess.
win some, you lose some. You win some, you spew some. Junior boy, while we were out on the boat, sailing 1,000,000 miles an hour and shoveling vomit out of every orifice of a boat, you had your own
I was in a different vehicle.
you had your own little party going on. So you didn't get to go. Yeah, you went out for like your 18th. Then you had what, 2 weeks off or 1 week? 2 weeks off.
2 weeks off.
So you got a bit of a false start on. Got a bit of a taste for it, and then it was like, no, you wait, little boy. But yesterday was the first time that you were able to.
Hop on a party bus. It's a great time.
Did you tag on? Did you use a smart runner?
No. None of that.
Especially because you were 17 for a while when all your mates were 18, so you used to go to parties.
But
That would end with like the party bus.
Yeah, I
and Riley
could have
would,
got on, but I was like, nah, can't be bothered.
Riley would then drive home.
Exactly. So I was intrigued to see the vibe when we first got on. Like, obviously, all the normal white lights are up in the
Yeah.
bus, and it's just like seats on the sides, and there's a few.
Yeah, so what was the structure of the bus? Seats on the side, pole in the middle.
Yeah, a bit of that, and then there was like the second layer once you get up to the back bit of the bus.
Yeah, and then they're like normal bus seats. The other ones are like they're on the side.
We're not a bus architecture podcast.
Nevertheless, it's crucial to the story.
Yeah,
Because
but
then we got
gotta hit that niche market.
we got in there, and then like I was probably like in like the middle of the group while everyone was getting on, and my mates were like sitting down, and I was like, oh, is this what we do? Like, do we just sit down and like chat? Is it not like? And then the boys were like, nah, just wait, brother.
Just you wait.
And it was probably like 45 of us.
That's decent.
40,
decent numbers.
45, round about that.
Yeah.
And it was like one of the smaller party buses, not one of the bendy ones.
Okay, I've never seen a big bendy one.
I don't
Yeah,
know,
they have
probably aren't bendy
double
ones.
decker ones.
But it was
I don't
one
think
of
I've ever
the-
seen those.
it was one of
no,
the
I
s-
have been on a bendy party bus actually.
It was one of the smaller ones. That would be fucking crazy.
I don't think so.
And so it was pretty tight, right? And especially when everyone stood up, it got real tight. And I was kind of just like wedged in the side. I wasn't really too keen on dancing. I was saving it up for when we got to Medis, you know? And I started to realize, I was like, this shouldn't be legal.
The party bus.
The bloke, I don't know if the bloke was bad at driving. I was like, I feel like this is just normal driving. But we were flying around.
Oh, yeah.
People were hitting the deck hard. People were slamming down. People were standing on the seats, just whack, bang. Just flying in. Lucky I was in a good position, but there was one point where I was standing up, holding bars, but the physics of it was just pulling me down to the floor. And some bloke had to pull me back up. I was like, what the fuck is happening? That
It
should not
is
be legal.
interesting. So like you have to wear a seatbelt if you're in a car. If you're in like a normal transport bus, don't have to wear a seatbelt.
Be assumed to sit down or hold onto a rail.
Yeah, a party bus.
Party bus, do whatever the fuck you want.
It's a
Yeah.
free for all, man. Like you could really get some damage. Like you could like real mosh and like throw yourself around in the party bus and just like 40 enter, one man leads.
And
Like,
then the driver has to like drive. It's like normally at night.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's 50 kids and just like drum and bass playing so loud, and he's like trying to fucking merge and shit.
I wonder if he
Yeah.
was deliberately just like, I don't really like these
Yeah.
kids.
Surely, as the driver, like that's your night. You don't have much entertainment. You're looking in the rearview mirror and you see Johnny stand up and you just slam the brakes on. And just watch him just do a little somersault down.
Yeah,
Did they
legit.
give you the little like no alcohol speech?
Yeah. Last chance to get rid of the alcohol. Everyone was like, yep.
Yeah.
Right, I chance. Fuck up.
It's a real waste of oxygen, that conversation. It's really
gonna
not.
happen, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, the party buses should not be legal. Like, that is like, what is happening? If
It's
we got in like a
chaos.
bad crash,
Yeah, but you never hear about it. Hey, like
That's a
Yeah.
good point. Party
40
buses never getting crashes.
neither do buses in general. I think.
well,
I've
I
seen some
hear
bus.
I
I've
hear
seen some bus
stories.
crashes in my time.
Not party buses though.
Yeah, can you imagine like Oh yeah, 40 18-year-olds are dead in a party bus crash.
Yeah, and then you get like the few people who are like sitting there like ready to throw up once they get out.
Yeah.
And it's like they're just like,
Yeah.
people are just landing on them.
Yeah, those buses. There's obviously like the rules.
But they're not real rules.
Yeah, like
No one's like following them.
There's some. I've seen some cursed things on party buses. And one of them we were going through. I think we were going to like listen out, and we were driving through like the city.
Hell yeah.
And one of my friends just pissed out the window.
Big of the
Oh, yeah.
moving,
Pissed out
the moving. Where were you like,
And this would have been
on,
day.
on the freeway?
This AM. This 10 AM.
But surely, normally the drivers are pretty like switched on for that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
he
we-
must have hidden it very well.
We were
gonna really
we were at the very back seat.
He's got one of those micros.
Yeah.
He's dealing with.
Yeah, we were like
Who was it? We'll beef it.
Eric.
Big or small,
Wait.
but you'll never know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so like he was like a backseat bandit, and this time he was really a bandit, and yeah, he just
Just
That's
let it
fucking
fly.
got out, and he
wild.
was like,
Were there
he's
cars
obviously, like,
next to him? Or was
But
what?
when
were there people on the street, like walking?
where were you traveling? Like what road was it on when you
I don't
decided
know.
to just down pant and pull it out?
Everyone's like, "What are you doing?" But like all loving it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
fair enough.
I'd be the sort of person in the back going, yeah, do it. That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
That'd have been a pretty cool Snapchat story.
It would be good if it was like in the background of someone else's photo.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like when I've vomited, like if you vomit out of a car when it's moving, it just sprays.
Oh, down it. The side.
Yeah, and sometimes like you don't get it out. Like it just goes inside the car.
Yeah, the wind's pushing
Yeah.
it back.
So if he's pissing, whoever was behind him, very dangerous game. If you've got your penis out and you've got like quite a slow
gust.
slow stream going on,
Oh, yeah.
it's just getting absolutely taken by the breeze and into poor Sarah's face, who's just like unwillingly sat there going, "Oh, goodness me."
Poor Saza.
Well, this weekend, if you haven't already tried it, fly down, peeing out,
Fly out.
chuck it out the window. All right, boys. At time of recording this Sunday evening, we're heading into our new office
Oh, hey.
tomorrow.
Bravo.
We went down yesterday. A few of us boys went down yesterday and like packed up the old office.
Yeah.
Is it still off? The new office still off South Street? Are we gonna not get these South
These
Street
South
everyday
Street
heroes?
Nah, still
tails.
punting
Do you
down
still
South
go past
Street.
the that one Caltex, which seems like it breeds everyday heroes?
Fuck, that's a good question. I'll confirm with you tomorrow.
When
I'm
you
not
first
necessarily
drive
sure
down.
because it's close to like CBC, the
Yeah.
new place. The old place was closer to like Cicerello's
Yeah.
and Bathurst Beach
One
and
was more coastal.
all that. So it's still like within earshot, but I'm not necessarily sure of the exact directions. But I'll fill you in. But yeah, it's big day yesterday.
How was
Big-
moving day? Exciting.
It was good. There was only
Did you walk it down or you throw it in cars?
no. We threw it in. We had a truck, but moving the stuff out of one office to the other was like it was all right. We have one massive boardroom that was like I don't even know how many kilos. The thing weighs so much. Remember
The
that like
the
table?
table.
Yeah, remember that table that we had out the back of our joint?
Yeah, we had a table that was just a stone.
Yeah, man, that thing was heavy.
Yeah,
And
it
this
weighed like
board,
more than a car.
I don't think so.
Similar.
This boardroom was similar to that, and it was in like a very tight.
The boardroom table, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was in a very tight room, and so to jar that out of one room
Yeah.
into the kitchen just so we could angle it out of the door. Then once we get out the door, we've got the truck. We're like in the middle of Fremantle. So many people walking past, driving past us, like watching us four try. We couldn't carry the thing.
How big was it, like size wise?
Oh, bigger than most like dining tables, like where you'd have
Yeah.
dinner, like bigger than our dining table,
Sheesh.
and way heavier, and not on legs. Like the actual slate itself was. Just
Oh, you
like
just
its
took
own-
off the top. Yeah.
Yeah, because that thing itself was like way too heavy. So
make
like we had it
tables
on
so
trolleys and stuff, but it was so heavy that one of the trolleys that we used broke. Luckily, it broke at like the
end of the
last,
day,
yeah, because we like getting it on the truck's fine. Well, not really, but getting it on the truck was an issue. Getting
Did
it
you need
off
to
the truck-
rotate it to get through rooms and stuff?
Oh yeah, shit yeah.
Fuck that.
It was anyway. It was chaos, but we finally got in. But I've woken up this morning quite sore. Don't do much manual labor.
A bit of a
As-
workout.
As the boss man said, like we build websites, we do marketing. We don't.
We're not.
We don't
movers.
build muscle. We
We
don't
don't
build. We don't build bodies.
Yeah,
It's
not
like
quite.
there's like the moving van company, and it's like Saturday, and they're like trying to build a website. They're like, "What the fuck are we doing here? I can't do it. The codes, the JavaScript isn't working."
It was intense. One of the boys had to dip off for a bit, and we thought he was never coming back.
Yeah.
Because he got the thing on there. He was just like,
Strategic.
oh, now I got to head off and he just go into the distance. But he did come back, and we were stoked to see him return. We did get the thing moved.
Good stuff.
It's in there. We
Bravo.
left the legs at the old place, so it's just like laying itself on the floor.
Like when you,
So
you
it
know,
might be
you
an
move house
8-man
and
job
your-
tomorrow just to get it up, get some legs.
Like when
under
you
it.
move house and your room's just like mattress on the floor because you haven't set up the beds.
Yeah, that sort of vibe. You can't really bring clients into the boardroom and have them
Yeah.
sit on the
Alright,
floor
yeah.
around a piece of
Everyone
wood.
pop a squat. Let's get to business.
But yeah, fitness is waning. Muscular fitness is it's,
Yeah,
it's
and
back
were you
after a
guys-
quick spurt.
Were you guys like, because obviously you've been planning the move for a while. Were you guys like pretty excited for like, oh yeah, like, you know, like,
Oh yeah,
ladsy,
big.
we'll have some beers after. Yeah, it's gonna be a good.
Oh, tomorrow will be tomorrow will be
Day
good.
of just-
Tomorrow,
But, like, there's,
tomorrow
like-
will be good.
They all throw the high visors on.
You were in high vis,
No, we did.
but like, was the, yeah, like you're like, oh yeah, like, you know, do you feel good? Like, oh, yeah, let's do some like ladsy manual labor.
Well, it
stuff.
was. Yeah, it was good fun. Tough work, but good work.
And did you we were all shocked by how difficult it was.
Yeah, the table itself. Everything else was alright.
Yeah.
The fridges and stuff, tough, but got them done.
It's because yeah, there's a similar thing. Well, not really that similar in terms of the activity, but there was a fitness story I have from work where basically what happened was we do our wellness team they got like a 45 like morning routine like cardio thing.
F45.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So it was like they had to come in, they do like the big exercise session before work.
Yep.
You know, like get around up
Like
and
our
moving
boys do
or
that,
whatever.
but they don't do it like as a part of what we do. Like they just have their own.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
just
so
like
this
your
was
company
this was
set
a
this up.
company.
Oh, okay,
The company
okay.
had put it
Ooh.
on,
Yep.
just like a one-off like special
Okay,
thing.
yep.
Hell
And
yeah.
then so one of the new grads came in. Yeah, so he was in, and then so he's like, oh yeah, like, you know, it's good these things go around. Like, oh yeah, sweet, that sounds fun. I'll sign up. He like got there on the day. I don't know exactly. I don't know. You didn't know anyone, or who we did know were already paired off. So he got stuck with one of the not stuck with, but he got paired with one of the older ladies from work,
Yeah.
who's one of the executive assistants to the partners.
Big
Yeah.
fan of the podcast. I'm
Yeah,
hearing
yeah,
as well.
she listens constantly.
Does she actually?
Oh yeah.
No.
Okay.
But yeah, so she's a bit older. She'd be about like 50, 60.
Yeah.
I'm bad
She
at-
might listen to this as part of like a PR.
Yeah, me,
exercise.
her, and in HR.
Yeah, you might all get to listen to this.
But yeah, she's great. She paired up with
He's just covered himself. He's gone from stuck with. We've talked about PR. Yeah, she's great. She's really fun. Really enjoy her company.
So there was the new grad. He's like 20
Yeah.
with one of the older people from the company, and they
So
paired up.
they're all great. Just for anyone listening,
They're all great guys,
great.
and I love having them at work.
And gals.
It's fantastic.
Yep.
And then so they got paired up. So it's a bit of like it's a comical duo. You got the new grad, he's like 20.
Yep.
You got the older lady. He's like, oh yeah,
The older lady.
They're doing the fitness challenge.
Swing, and we're back in the PR
I don't know
room.
who's going
They're
for.
doing the fitness challenge together.
Yeah.
And then it goes fine. Anyway, the fitness challenge ends. The grad throws up afterwards. Yeah.
Nice.
He-
Oh no.
He was like, I think he was out. I think he made it to the street, and then he was like yakking into a bin.
Oh my god. What was this? What was the activity?
Yeah, he was just like, I really just
Like,
underestimated like
oh, is
how
I've-
hard it was gonna be, and
Yeah.
he was probably like,
He would have been going hard.
yeah, it's just because you
was trying to
you
one
don't
up.
want to be the worst one in the pair. And then,
Yeah.
but the funniest thing, because it's like, it's funny that like, those two doing the fitness stuff together.
Yeah.
It's kind of a funny look. Him vomiting, it's also funny, but the fact that they happen together
Like
with
at the
him
same
yakking
exercise.
and her being completely fine,
damn.
and him just like, I just
Yeah,
imagine him
it's
like
quite a juxtaposition.
sweating, just like looking so unfit. And then he threw up, and then he had to go to work after.
Oh, true. Like your day doesn't. That's the start
That's
of your
the
Monday.
start,
Like,
yeah.
That's
enjoy the rest of the week.
That's a rough Monday.
If you vomited before 8 o'clock on a Monday morning, it's only upwards. It's only upwards from there. Goodness me. Did you ever go?
No, I didn't go. I couldn't make it, sadly.
I've had a few vomit sessions when like exercising and that. When I used to go like footy, like preseason footy,
Yeah.
as a young.
Oh, like when you
fella.
go down to the beach and stuff.
Oh man, you used to go first thing in the morning, and it would just like fuck you over for the rest of the day. And like my diet has never been that flash, just in case anyone was wondering.
Yeah.
And so I'd have like leftover pizza before I went down. Not like
coming back
not
up.
super tactical. So like then you're running like 10, 15 kilometers and just like doing time trials and just like doing real physical stuff. And you're like, oh, pepperoni, not a good choice. Not a good choice.
Especially not on the way back up.
All right, boys, we got a brand new game. Now, we had a fair few games over the journey. Some have been good, Cost is correct. Some have been bad. What was that weird one?
Marky.
We need to bring that back. That was good.
Hell yeah.
Just evolved a bit of homework. We'd sit down and go, hey, all right, we're ready to play My Name's Mark. And you'd be like, I haven't done any homework on the marks. You need to tell me before we get in. I have done a bit of homework on this one. We've actually done a fair bit of preparation, including a brand new sting. The game is called Take Me Back.
Take me back to the past time, a past year, back before we could drink beer. Movies, artists, stylish gear, we gotta find out what was the year.
Some beautiful pipes there on you, young fella.
you.
Now the game, as so eloquently put, is called Take
Me Back.
Me Back. Now, basically, the game will consist of me mentioning a story.
Well, it won't always be you, will it?
No, it won't always be me. It can't always be the host.
And then sometimes I'll be singing.
No, you won't be singing. Jeepers. Oh, sweet Jeeps. Why would you change the beautiful pipes we have? But yeah, it will simply be, I'll launch like a movie that came out, the top artist of that year.
Yeah.
Someone who like passed away.
Stylish gear as the music.
Some stylish gear that came out that year or was like big.
Yeah.
I was trending.
And you guys will get to guess. Now, it'll be a simple game of like, I say the thing, and if you're comfortable, guess. If you're comfortable, guess. If you're not, you forfeit your turn. So essentially, if you shoot one out of the chamber and you go, I reckon it's 1986, and I go,
Nah, it's 2009.
it's like, no, mate, Toy Story came out way after that. Riley then gets the next clue
Hell yeah.
free of charge. So he gets to guess. He gets a free guess.
Free guess.
Because you've bloody gone in too hot. Should we get into it?
Hell yeah, I'm excited.
All right, let me cast you back.
I got a bit of an advantage because I was been alive for an extra 4 years.
You were
is
both
a great
alive
point.
during this time, which will assist
Spoil it.
to begin with. All right,
Here we go.
here we are, boys.
What happened this year? Take me back, Jake. Take me back.
Let's begin. This is an interesting one.
Oh, love it.
Here we
There
go.
was a natural disaster that hit Southeast Asia, striking Indonesian island Java twice.
Started with a fun one.
All right, we'll move on to the.
Can we ask questions? Or is that all you get?
I think.
Nah, I reckon just getting the tips. We can have a bit of a discussion about these things.
All right. So 2 natural disasters.
Yep.
I wonder if they were the same.
I'm gonna say.
Could have been like a volcano and an earthquake.
I'm gonna say earthquake, tsunami, which often go hand in hand.
All right, closer to home. Second clue. Australia reeled with shock as we lost 2 icons in the same week during September.
Ooh.
We mentioned him last week.
Ooh.
The first guy was Peter Brock.
Peter Brock.
I don't
Oh, is he a?
He was the race car driver
driver,
that
yeah.
in Surprise,
Oh.
they did the alien gag on. So he passed away, and in the same week, Steve Irwin passed away.
What a rough week.
I remember this. So I was definitely in primary school.
Yeah, I was in primary school.
I
as
was
well.
in
I was
between.
pre-primary school.
I want to say in between year 2, 3, and 4. Year 2, 3, and 4.
So that. Oh.
Bindi was big. Remember Bindi?
Yeah.
So she was. I
she big
think
back here?
she gave a speech at Steve's funeral,
Yeah.
which was like a
eulogies.
big deal at the time because she was young, very young.
That service when they play Home Among the Gum Trees.
And they played.
Goes hard.
What was the other one? True Blue.
True Blue,
True Blue went
yeah.
off.
Fuck.
That was a big one.
What a legend.
Someone else also passed. Now this person.
Did you look up sad facts about this?
Yeah.
All right, we won't go with that. There was another big Australian thing that happened.
Hey.
It's when the two miners,
Oh, the Beaconsfield.
Todd Russell and Brant Webb, got trapped for 14 days
Oh.
during May in a steel cage after a mine collapsed in Beaconsfield.
Do you remember
Tiny
that?
Teddies, right? They ate Tiny Teddies.
Did they?
Is this a different story? Apparently, they like survived off.
After
Tiny
20 days?
Teddies.
You might be right.
It might be a different thing though.
I remember that. That
I
was
remember there being
so.
like a 60 minutes on that.
When they came, the
When they
shot
came
of them
out.
coming out, and everyone was like, "Fuck it."
I recently watched
We
the
can be
episode of
heroes.
The Simpsons. I've been watching a lot of The Simpsons
Yeah.
on Disney Plus,
Hell yeah.
and I recently
I saw Jake watching what's it called?
This is gonna
There's
be
like the Star Wars Maggie.
Oh yeah.
It's like the Force wakes up or something.
Yeah.
And it's like Star Wars but a Maggie version. It would have been you watching it.
wasn't me. No, it wasn't me.
Could have been.
Could have been the person who
He's
pays
like,
for
"No, it
the-
is."
Essentially,
That's awkward.
another big fact. Another fact from that time was, now, I'm gonna drop a movie that came out. Now this
This'll
will
be big.
this will play into Joe's hands. I'm not gonna go with like a super popular one.
Yeah.
Mind you, it's a little bit popular. We're gonna go with
I was really
The Pursuit of Happiness.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So what year did
Is
The
this-
Pursuit of Happiness
Is that
come out?
Will?
Will Smith.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Will and Jaden.
Oh.
Any ideas at this point? No one wants to have a guess.
I mean, Joe said he was in 2 to 4.
Can I have a guess?
I'm still trying to do the math.
If you want, it's a risk to take a guess. If you're not gonna hit it on the head.
I want to go
Here we go.
with
Here we go.
2009.
You're incorrect, which means Riley gets a free punt. But you do only have the one.
Does this mean?
You get a free guess. Now this
get
one was big, and this one might play into his hands
Yeah.
because it would have been pretty traumatic for him at the time as a young man.
Jesus.
Kids around the world, kids and parents around the world, paid tribute to fellow yellow wiggle Greg Page, who was forced to hand his skivvy over during November to Sam.
Yeah, I remember.
Because remember he had that heart condition.
Yeah. Yeah, and Sam became.
Sam became Greg, the yellow wiggle.
But Sam, this isn't the yellow wiggle at the moment. Sam was a guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Sam.
Standard.
I think Sam's still in it.
Oh,
Is
is
he?
he
But-
wearing a different shirt?
Wiggle chat.
The yellow wiggle is Emma,
Ah,
the girl wiggle.
Oh, okay.
Queen.
I think Sam's still in it. Didn't Emma and Sam get married?
So, oh,
I think they were in a relationship.
good on him. Wait, so I get a free guess.
You get a free punt here,
Right
man.
now? I can
Yeah.
choose right now?
Yeah.
So I graduated primary in 2014, so I would have been in year 1, which means it wasn't 2009. It would have been earlier. I'm gonna go 2000, but then I would have had to be. I don't remember this happening. I'm gonna go 07.
He's wrong.
Ooh.
Which means Joe's back into it. The number one song for the year was Daniel Powter's Bad Day.
I can't even. I don't know what that song is.
Do you remember
It's
that? Go on. This
Oh
was
wait.
You had a bad day.
Hey.
You know what actually slaps, like way more than it should, is the Alvin and Chipmunks version of that song.
Fact.
Can't say I've ever heard.
And then what
It's
what
just the
hits
same
even
song, but
harder
sung in a high
is
pitched
you
voice.
look up Alvin and Chipmunks
Slow it down.
slow down, so it's the guy's actual voice.
Oh, that's pretty
They
sad.
And
got
it's
such
slow.
deep voices. They're like
They're actually so
mad
good at
voice.
singing.
But they just
And
bring the
st-
pitch up. They don't
And-
bring the
no,
speed
no,
up.
and
do
they sing slow as well.
Oh, real.
Because when they bring the pitch up, it has to match.
It speeds
normal
up a bit,
tempo.
yeah.
that
so
would
they'd
be
be
a
like,
hard thing to
So
sort.
you had a bad day.
No, I think they can pitch it up a
You
bit
know.
without speeding it up.
A little bit, but it would have been pretty.
Because
they
think
would've-
about on like Frank songs,
they would have had
they
to
just
sing
pitch it
kinda
up a
slow.
bit.
Oh yeah, maybe I don't know.
But yeah,
Someone's
it's so
voice who they
good.
don't have to pitch up during this year was someone who sung the song "You're Beautiful," Mr. James Blunt. That was the fourth most
Yup.
sold
Yup.
song during the year, along with the likes of Justin Timberlake, who released "Sexy Back."
Oh wait,
We had
damn.
Oh,
the
wait,
Fray launch.
2008.
The Fray launched "Over My Head."
All right, I'm gonna take
2008.
You've gone 2008. You're incorrect.
Oh wait, what?
It literally.
Joe, this is essentially a layup at this point.
It has to be
I need to-
2006.
You're on the money. You're on the money. It's
He's brought sexy back.
He has indeed. Joey, you bloody hit it with a big green tick.
I wouldn't have got that. The only reason I guessed it because I knew it could have been 2010. Because like by the time I got to 2010, I was like, sort of an actual person.
It was a big year. I think Australia won the retained the Ashes.
Oi.
Won 'em back.
2006. So I would have been in year 2.
Won them back.
I would have been 3 years old.
The
So,
Prestige.
yeah,
the
rough
Prestige.
Bit of an unfair bit.
Yeah.
The Prestige came out. An Inconvenient Truth. The Benchwarmers was out. The Departed. There's some big movies. Cars. The first Cars
Cars.
came out. There's some big things that happened in 2006. 2006, I feel like, was when we got those like So Fresh Springs albums. I remember
Because
like,
that had James Blunt on it.
it had James Blunt. It had Bad Day. It had all the big ones. Spring must have been a good time for
Yeah.
music releases in 2006.
What a time to be
Do they still make So Fresh?
I'm pretty sure. They were always good. They were always like
They always.
prior to like
They were
Spotify.
fresh.
So Fresh was like the thing that you used to get.
Do you know what
into.
they are, right?
Yeah. There's little like playlists of
Yeah.
the bangers. of
Yeah.
the year.
I think they still do. Do CDs still get sold anymore?
I think so, yeah.
I did actually find. I went through on Spotify. I want to
They
shout
probably
out.
make the So Fresh playlist.
Once you've listened to that's what I did. I went through and like sifted through like a few of those only like a couple of weeks ago. We had a period last year where it would have been maybe 2 years ago where Fridays were like a big deal because I didn't used to work Fridays and you had Fridays off uni.
Yeah.
We used to have big Fridays and we'd go like op shopping or like go play golf or
Oh,
just like
yeah.
go grab lunch, just like chill out. We'd go watch movies and shit.
Yeah.
And we'd always chuck on 96 FM, which was like real gold. That's
'Cause
like
that's when they had R&B Fridays.
yeah, hate R&B Fridays on 92.
Oh, that's
on
why we wouldn't
92.9.
listen to it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
92.9 always had R&B Fridays. Everyone used to be, yeah, R&B Fridays. And we were like, man, that stuff's shit. So we used to chuck on 96 real gold.
What
Is
plays
that
on
Coast
there?
FM?
No, it's 96 FM. It's like, that's what
Oh,
it's
96.
called. Yeah, it's good. I've recently made a channel a playlist on Spotify.
Called?
It's called Friday.
Hell yeah.
It's very dedicated to like songs that essentially we would listen to on 96. So if you want to go back to like basically like late 90s through to like
If you want to take
2010,
them
Take
back,
you back.
whatever
yeah,
tense it is.
subscribe to the Friday, the playlist on Friday.
It's one of the
plug in
first
his
plugs.
Spotify.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, bloody hell. Once you listen to the podcast, start your Friday the right way by listening to the pod,
And then
and then bloody launch into the weekend by listening to the Friday playlist.
Listen to
Oh,
the
that
real
sounds-
gold.
Your
That'll
whole
be-
Friday, literally curated by the Mac Pack.
what more can you want?
What a better way to do it.
Do you know what more I want? That bloody stinger again.
Ooh.
Hell yeah. Nick hit the drums.
Take me back to the past time, a past year, back before we could drink beer. Movies, artists, stylish gear, we gotta find out
What was the year?
Have a lovely Friday, everybody. Boys, we mentioned off the top that Joey and I headed into the studio
Yeah, as we do, go in.
last weekend. We
Hit
were
the
lay down some
doing
bars.
doing a little rapping.
Not the
for-
MacPack studio.
For a minute. We've talked a lot about music tonight, which I like.
Very musically. themed.
We've met our quota
Yeah.
this week. We did it for Nick. Nick turned 21. Nick's in the corner on the drums.
Hey.
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Good on you, Nick.
Yeah,
So we celebrated his 21st. We got on the boat party, and one of the boys, Ricky, who is a rapper under the name of,
Wesley Black.
he's very good at what he does, young Wes.
He goes hard.
Yeah, and he basically orchestrated this whole thing where there would have been like, what, 20 of us? 15, 20 of us?
Yeah.
Who he sort of like, Ricky built out a beat.
Yep.
And he does the rapping. He's a very good rapper.
Yeah, he's good.
He does what the kids call the rapping.
Yeah.
And so he invited us. He was like, everyone, like, prepare your own raps, some rhymes, some bars, some
Your
fat
verses.
beats, and come into
Come
the
on down.
studio, drop them, and I'll touch them up.
And we went to, like, a
make 'em
proper-
sound nice. Yeah, we went to like a proper area.
Professional studio. Like we went into like the sound booth and stuff.
Yeah, it was sick.
Did you feel
And
like? Did you
The
feel like
idea was the gift was
The gift was going to be
it's like an oldie themed
Song.
rap song where each of us have a verse.
Oh, that's
yeah. So we're all sort of like shouting him out. Ricky went and he filmed all of us do it as well. So like he did like a very nice video that we showed Well, everyone saw it on the boat except the lady.
Yeah,
who got,
she had already been dropped off.
lady got kicked off. Probably should have played it while she's getting kicked off. It would have taken a lot of like the embarrassment away from her and put it back onto us. Because basically everyone who was in the video did a fantastic job. For everyone who was listening, fantastic job. But no one was quite as good. There was 2 boys who were very good. Alex was very good.
Yeah.
The 3 boys. Sebastian was very good. But obviously the best of the piece, it's got to be Ricard.
Yeah.
He absolutely blitzed it.
We got to play his bit.
Yeah, all right, we'll play a bit of his bit now. So he had the beat created. This beat.
Hell no.
Did he
It's
make
fucking sick. Pretty sure either he or one of his mates has
Yeah.
built it. And like, so this plays over like the video essentially. Bloody, it's good.
Rap God.
It came out like surprisingly.
And Ricky's just
surprisingly
nailed
good.
it. Have a listen.
Yeah, hey. Guess I'm quitting the whole plan. If Nick's on a shift, I'm getting it quicker than Boatman. When they finally hear this song, you can find me with new girls every week. Like my name was Nicholas Oatman. He's a young John Lennon. You know I would never make mistakes. He's always up at 2 a.m. for the wake and bake. I'm passing off the verse, think it's better for you. If you're Yon Carlson, I'ma be a Nakamura. Ayo.
And so like Ricky's just absolutely blitzed it, right? So Ricky's just like completely just like laid it up. No worries
Yeah,
whatsoever.
so good. He's got such a nice flow.
He
He's
sounds good. Like he's got like
got
gold.
cool-
Like
Yeah.
he's actually got gold tonsils. When he speaks, it's dope.
He's got like inside jokes, like such good rhymes. He's got that chess reference about Magnus Carlsen and Nakamura. Like the fact that he can slide in anything he
like
wants.
cool references. And
It's
make it
all
rhyme
time.
at
We
the
might
same
as well
time.
play this next bloke because he'll get a
Yeah,
massive
yeah.
kick out of it.
Oh fucking hell!
The big cheese head, the Aaron Rodgers special. Cheddar man, dick cheese, deep feelers.
feelers.
He's blitzed it as well. We'll give him a red hot piping.
He's my partner in crime.
That's unfair. Let's go back. We'll just wind it back a couple of seconds, and now he launches in with this.
State of mind. My boy Deep Days, my partner in crime. Wishing you a happy birthday. Now it's your time. Blow out your candles on your boat. Yeah, it's your special day. I'll make you stay afloat. You're so damn dope, and your music is cool. You put them other boys to shame and send them back to school. Your talent is whack, and the sky's dark blue. Ain't no other Deep Days who's quite like you. Yeah, you get me so hyped, so you have to calm me down. Happy birthday, my G. Come home safe and sound.
So he like blitzed it as well. Like
that
they're
verse
both
about staying afloat.
Good.
yeah on theme with the
Boat
boating.
puns.
So we've got Ricky. Ricky has like golden tonsils.
And these 2 are like Perth rappers. Like,
Yeah,
that's
they
it,
like
that's-
do it. Yeah.
They do
Yeah,
it.
so
They
you
have
can
their
check them out when you're
music.
looking at the Friday playlist. Feel free to then jump on and have a listen to this.
But these next 2,
Now this is when it gets. This is where amateur flukiness.
This is when the song goes from good to great. That's what I'm doing.
Have a listen. Tell us what you think. Here we go.
2, 3, 4. Wake up, Jeff.
Wiggles reference.
Once our purple wiggle, always the king of chess. The kid's got class, bet he'll rap that French heart. If you can't drive a Jag, stick to Mario Kart. Prepping for a big one, sure to end in Spew. The mess you made at Joe's was cleaned up because he loves you.
I was bang on the button.
Seggy's end with your infamous drum snare, much like the band Forever Our Brother Bear. Waiting at the base of the stairwell for the queue. Walkie in one hand, the other Maccas for 2. A brother by choice who've always got your back. You got a +1 to join the Mac Pack. We dim the lights out back to watch the view. Where Sunset Boulevard and me, Ricky, and you.
See what we lacked for tonsil talent, we made up for with good rhymes, good bars.
All
That had-
references to either inside
memories.
jokes, things we've done together.
Mentioned the pack.
the drums.
Mentioned the drums. Mentioned
His
him.
sister's band.
Him smacking his car.
The infamous Jag
He
crash.
got his Jag smashed into.
Oh yeah, you
heard
can put the
about that?
photo up of
I've seen the
here.
photos.
It's
Whack.
pretty intense. We
You
had
got-
we
not
had
great at driving.
A lot of
we do
references from
Sunset.
work,
Yep,
yeah.
Sunset Boulevard, where we turn all the lights off but leave the popper on. The popper's like a
The
bright
pop's got like
orange.
a neon light.
Yeah, and we used to just like sit out the back, like we were looking over Hollywood, like the actual boulevard, like Hollywood. You know how there's like the Hollywood sign?
Yeah, the Hollywood sign.
Yeah, that's essentially what it. That's
And
what it
there's
felt
also
like.
that the Macca's story.
Yeah, the Macca story was big. We had to clean up. We had to clean the staff room, and we'd already had lunch, and we were like, "Oh, we'll do it after lunch." We ran downstairs, and then he's like, "Oh, we should probably go up there. So we go up. He goes, man, I'm still pretty hungry. And this is when Macca's were doing like dollar cheeseburgers, which was like that was a fuck time to be alive. I think they're doing dollar cheeseburgers and like dollar small fries. Essentially, you could have lunch, like a big lunch for like $8.
Yeah. You've had 4 cheese.
Yeah, 4 cheeseburgers, 4 chips, $8.
Whack.
And I remember like we got up there. Well, no, we split a family feast for dinner. For lunch, though.
Yeah.
And
From Macca's or Kev?
no, from Macca's.
Yeah.
But it was like it wasn't like the bitch ass one. It was like the 4 big burgers with like a stack of chips.
Oh, like you've got, it's not like quarter pounder cheeseburger. It's like Big Mac
Yeah.
quarter pounder.
Leveled it, absolutely nailed the thing.
Oh,
And
yeah,
like
man,
I was,
He sounds hell good.
I don't eat like I don't eat a huge amount, right? And then
And doesn't he not eat chips?
I ate all the chips.
He doesn't eat chips.
I gave him half of my burger.
Yeah, he doesn't like fries.
What the?
Yeah, so I ate all the chips
so
and like a
weird.
burger and a half. He had what was essentially 3 burgers. And then we go up and I'm like full as a boot. He goes, man, pretty hungry. I was like, dude, we just finished eating like 20 minutes ago.
Because he needs the chips.
And he goes, and I was like, man, just run to Macca's. So he literally just like
Double lunch.
He snuck out the back and like ran and got some more, but came back with like 6 more cheeseburgers. And I was like, dude, that is like way too many burgers to eat over the course of lunch. But he didn't want to walk back in through the doors and like see everyone. Everyone was like, didn't he just walk in with like a bucket of burgers before? And now he's got more
He's back
burgers
with them
and he
all.
should be working. So he ran down like the emergency exit door and we just had like a little...
But you can only get out the emergency exit door.
Yeah, so like he just like... We had like a secret little code word where he like... I'd buzz
Like a
him.
Morse code.
Yeah, like
on
I
the
buzzed him
walkie-talkie.
back in and then instead of mopping, we just like sat and ate Macca's basically. We mopped eventually, but it wasn't... It was after all that. The song actually ends in...
That's not it.
Nah, it's not the air. We'll finish up this little segment by saying a massive happy birthday to Nicky Boy. Props to Ricky for getting it all done.
Oh yeah, it came out great. Nick
Absolutely
actually.
all
So we
time.
watched it after the speeches. We watched the video and played the song, obviously.
Yeah.
And Nick ended up crying, which is
Aw.
like, I feel like that's like,
That's exactly what you want.
you want to make someone cry with your present.
It may have been... He may have cried because he heard this crap.
From music to medicine,
This is us singing.
the auto tune.
back you all the way.
Gets bad.
But for the
This bit is
moment,
bad.
we just wanna wish you
Just stumble.
a happy birthday.
So we're
It's
bloody...
amazing what auto tune can do.
Yeah, it makes us sound...
Because they would do it instantly, like you would be singing.
Yeah,
and you
which
could
was
hear
jarring.
it. It was
No.
so cool.
I didn't
That's
enjoy
sick.
that.
I feel like you could like do anything with your voice. You could pretend like you're like,
Travis Scott.
yeah.
we turned it...
anything.
That's the thing, like, because we didn't know that. And like I started singing and the auto-tune kicked in. I'm like wetting myself laughing going, man, I was not ready for that.
So like when me and Jake wrote it, like during the day.
Yeah, like an hour
And
before.
then we were practicing like delivering because we were like, oh, we don't want to waste time when we're
When
in
we're
the
there,
studio. We just want to know exactly what we're gonna do.
Thank God we did, because we literally got there and it was like, all right, boys, you're in. And I was like, oh, okay, here we go.
So and then we had, as a joke at home, I was singing the end
Yeah.
bit, which is the bit that you just heard, and then I think I said it in the thing. I was like, oh yeah, me and Jake sing at the end, and then Ricky was like, oh cool, we can put auto tune on that, and I was like, oh, I was only
Taking the
piss, and he's like, no, do it.
Yeah, and we did.
Yeah, it
and
sounded sick.
it sounded how it sounded. It would have been good if we got like the lyrics maybe correct.
Yeah, there's a bit where Jake says the wrong thing.
Added so many extra syllables, just went completely off script, thinking that we might like, let's do it again. Nah, we
the
just
guy
fucking-
was like, nah, it's good.
I was like, no, it wasn't. He goes, no, get out of there. I was like,
One take wonder.
okay, but yeah, happy birthday to Nick. Nick, if you can hear us, just give us some drums. Lovely.
Thank you, mate.
Boys, we threw out the question a couple of hours ago, not long ago at all. Probably should have done this a bit earlier.
The question for question.
The question for questions. We just asked what the people wanted to hear. And we got we got some cool ones. Couple from like some members that we know. Couple from some members that I personally don't, and a couple from members that I never heard of before. But that means the growth The growth is there. I think that guy's like
Ah.
a TikTok guy.
Hey, we got a fan question.
Yeah. Ben Randall is his name.
Radio. Guys, stalk him.
No, you can once you've chipped in, you're in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens. We'll read out 4 of the best ones on this occasion. If we've left you out, or if you're gonna pump in your question over like the next 20 hours, we'll write down the best ones. Might maybe read them ones out next week. We're gonna kick it off with Ben Randall himself, who has asked, who was the best sportsman out of you 3? I love that he's gone with, just quickly, I love that he's gone with who was, like he's called it. He's like, well, they don't look very athletic now.
They're retired.
If we're going peak,
It's not a veterans dinner.
if we're going peak,
Here we go.
you got to go Riley.
What?
Best
What do
in
you
all
mean?
regards. Jack of all trades.
The thing
Master
is,
of
Riley
none.
didn't even hit his peak yet.
What sports did you play?
Basketball, and I played Auskick, and I played like 2 years of junior footy.
See, I think that's
But
where
I smacked
think
in high
that's-
school.
I
Well,
think
Jake's
that's our thing.
obviously the best at footy.
And
That's-
probably cricket.
Nah, I reckon I can overtake him. At footy.
Oh,
I wasn't great at any of them.
I'm
but
pretty good at cricket.
The fact that I
I don't
played.
think you're.
You haven't got a career game to your name.
Yeah, the backyard fucking.
Well, that leads us to a secondary question. But let's finish this thing up.
I feel like I'm better than you at cricket.
Fucking spell.
That.
Fucking spell.
I mean, Joe's actually alright at
I
batting.
get the most wrong.
Joe's pretty good at batting.
What is happening? Are we taking the actual piss?
Jake's spin bowling is really good, and his pace is pretty good as well.
Yeah, with the
All
best-
rounder, best all round athlete
Um,
is essentially what he's asking.
I take a lot of catches though.
150 games for Willow footy. How many games for Willow cricket? How many games for Willow basketball? I'm a statesman of all sports.
You play 150 for Willow.
I think so.
That's a fair stint.
Between 100 and 150 maybe.
I think Riley's a better athlete. Maybe you're a better sportsman.
Well, the question is, who was the
The
better
best
sportsman?
sportsman.
So, on a technicality, I'll take it. Now, the big cricketer, Mr. Cricket himself in the corner, Scott Sanderson, all the way from the Gold Coast, has asked, which member of the Mac Pack has scored the most backyard cricket runs?
Great question.
I want to say
I've definitely
had the highest. Maybe I'm not as consistent.
I've definitely.
No, definitely not. You would have
I
more.
hold the fucking record at the old house.
Do you?
What
What
is
is
it?
it?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Joe
what is it?
knows.
I don't know.
Where's it with pride?
Riley's 100% the worst at cricket.
I definitely have the most like.
You used to get 3 wickets per
yeah,
hour.
Yeah, I thought I was
when
got
was
him
the
out.
last time Riley still gets the handicap? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to have Jake gets 1 wicket, Joe gets 2,
And
and I get 3.
Yeah, but my 2 was soon relegated
Was
Yeah,
it?
because
because I was too OP.
He used to use the first one as like he used to step up to the crease and just like smack a ball over the fence. I was like, oh well, you're not really playing how we wanted.
I wanted to go back inside.
Yeah.
Hey, don't hate the player. Hate
He
the
used to
game.
do that as well. That's largely the reason we gave him 2 wickets because
He would throw.
yeah, man, he'd
Fuck
just
off.
he'd just like let the ball like crash into his
Go
stance.
back
Like,
inside.
all right, well, I'm gonna go watch Harry Potter
Oh,
again.
I was
if I
gonna
didn't-
say read Harry Potter.
If I didn't
That's
want to play, yeah, I just would get out. Yeah,
And that's
So
that's why
boring.
I would always bat last as well. I'm like, well, I don't care if I win.
we stopped making you bat last very early on because you used to
I'm a clutch man.
you used to ruin it. But we also couldn't have you bat first either because if he batted first, he'd just go inside. Like he'd get out and just walk inside. I was like, man, that's not really the ethos that we want out here.
Yeah, I wonder.
But we were very competitive.
But if
Would
we
you
finished,
still be like that?
yeah.
we've played
When you see
recently.
me at like domestic basketball,
Yeah,
I'm
that is
swearing.
true.
When we lose a game, I'm like, I'm
He gets-
small.
We've played backyard cricket just over at the park, like probably within the last 6 months. Carries on when he gets
Tears?
out. Yeah, no, maybe not tears. He used to throw himself around when he was like running for the stumps as well.
Yeah.
Largely, we would like he'd just tap a ball and then run. We wouldn't even run him out. He'd just crash into the stumps. He was like,
He
"Ah."
also one thing he used to do a lot playing basketball and probably footy, but like if his player got past him or if he did something bad, he would fall over.
yeah.
To be like, no,
I just slipped.
because I fell over.
ACL's gone.
But you would like, yeah, you like turn the ball over and then just like hit the deck.
Yeah, like a sniper to enter the building. Like you just lose the ball, and next thing you know, his both knees were taken out at the
Foul,
same
bro.
time, and then he's on the floor. And,
Yeah, and then not playing defense, obviously.
yeah, and we'd be standing there going, "Well, what the fuck are you doing?"
I've definitely thrown the most bats as well.
Yeah, we had a fine rule at one point where it was if you threw the bat, $10 in the kitty, because you started. It was between you like being a shit.
You guys have
And
been
then
knobs
being-
when I got out though. You love to rub it in and have a little victory lap.
We used to
As
cheer
I
a fair
sit
bit.
there and cry.
Can we get the video?
Yes,
There's a
the
video.
one, the infamous one.
There's one ripping video. Oh, there's a few. We've got a few ripping
There's one of-
backyard cricket stories.
There's one video we have of us playing basketball with.
Tommy.
Yeah, and you guys. It was me and Jake versus Joe and Tom.
Often was.
And you guys came back and won, and I literally just started crying. And you could see in the video. And I walked to the car. I just sit next to the car, and I'm literally just sitting there crying.
Sobbing. We're playing. It's basketball. It's
Although-
December 13. It means nothing, but it meant the world.
Life or death.
There's a ripping video we've got. We'll have to find it. It's when we get you out, and Riley. I think Riley bowled it, and I've run in to like grab him, and I've run in like to give him a hug, and he's hurdled, and I've just taken his legs out, and he's landed like
Oh.
smack on his face.
And we were so close to the
Yeah, to the
concrete.
concrete.
yeah.
Could have been quite a big one.
You can hear a bit of a throwback. Hamish and Andy's on
Yeah,
in the background.
Next question.
Yeah, so we're gonna say me, cool. Deep for lads.
I mean, to be honest, it's probably Scott.
yeah,
Yeah, the one time he came.
yeah, he just didn't get out. He would definitely average the most. He used to like. He's very
He's
good.
good,
at cricket.
yeah.
He was very good. And we got another question here from our man, Deep Healers.
What's he asking?
What is he saying?
It's an age-old question. He goes, "What was the inspiration behind the Mac Pack?" And he asked when he's featuring as well.
Well, he was on it tonight.
Yeah, so now we will get him on probably at some stage. We're slowly working through the guests. The guest that we have scheduled in
We have him lined up for 2 weeks from now.
next. She's confirmed a date. It will be happening in 2 episodes time from when this one
Yep.
gets dropped. The inspiration behind the Mac Pack podcast.
Well,
We've
the
to-
Macpac in general.
We've told it before. Well, the Mac Pack in general wasn't really us. That sort of that powers were.
Mum and Dad did that.
Yeah, that was mainly their work.
Yeah, we had little to nothing to do with that. But the podcast itself, we had this discussion before. I was sitting there, Joe, you were sitting there. We were watching TV there.
Yep.
And it was literally a discussion piece where I was like, "Hey, we should do this. We should do." Yeah, I was like, "What do you reckon? Can we start a podcast?" And we sort of had a little bit of a laugh about it. And then I went to work the following day, and you text me separately and asked me,
Why don't we have a podcast?
yeah, why don't we have a podcast? And I was like, "Oh, did you chat to Joe?" And you hadn't. It was completely your own thought. And it was at that point I was like, "Oh, well, we have to do it now. Like we can't." That's a sign.
The gods
Like,
have spoken.
yeah. So we literally went from that happened on like the Wednesday night. By the Saturday or Sunday,
We recorded on a Sunday night, I think.
we recorded 4 days after that, and then by Friday we had artwork. We'd learned how to edit. We'd learned how to basically build it into the hosting platform,
Yeah.
which gives you the iTunes, Spotify, Google Pods, and all the rest of the crap that we use. And then it was just a matter of announcing it, and the announcement happened, and everyone really got around it from the word go. We still haven't really had any proper negatives apart from
The
the
TikTok.
TikTok
Yeah,
strangers.
Strangers.
who-
They be wilding out.
Man, they dropped some hot comments. But no, it's good fun. And then the fan base is growing. There's a lot more people
Yeah.
there's a lot less people who are going,
Every time I go
I
out.
really like your podcast, and then having nothing to say about it.
Yeah.
Instead, it's like, all right, what do you know? And then they'll give you like full stories of stuff that you wouldn't know unless you listen to the full.
Yeah, it always catches you off guard when like they've just listened to it and it's a conversation you've had like it could be months ago.
I was telling
Yeah.
Jake before, like last night before I got on the party bus, I was at a party, and like blokes that I haven't spoken to since like high school coming over to me and like, "Oh, I love the podcast." Remember like this was happening like last week,
Yeah,
and then like
it is cool.
what teacher was this? Who are we actually talking
It is
about?
it is funny. Sometimes I talk to people who like I know that they listen or they have at least listened to some episodes and then I'll be like about to tell a story and I'm like
Have they
I've
heard
told this on the
Yeah,
pod. Like,
legit.
like, but then it's weird for them to be like, yeah, I know.
I heard, yeah. If you do listen, I love doing this, getting a bit of a shout out. We want to know who listens. We like the data comes in each week. I say this so often, but we don't get like a personalized
know
profile
who
as to who it is. We just get like 115 people listen this week, and it's like, okay, sick. Like,
Who?
yeah, who the fuck are they? Our numbers recently have been like over 150, over 180, and it's just like, okay, like who are these people? I got like a LinkedIn message the other day from Lee Marie. Shout out to Lee Marie.
Shout out Lou.
Um,
Shout out to Lee's kids.
Yeah, who's her and her kids listen to the podcast.
Hell yeah.
I used to work with Lee Marie.
Do you know the kids?
No.
How old are they?
Damn.
They're teenagers, she said.
Very cool.
She's good at
Very-
advertising. for
Very
us.
cool. But yeah, if you listen to the pod, slide into our DMs on Instagram, on Facebook, text us, pop over. Doesn't matter. Just
Yeah, come around. The address is, and then just put a big beep here.
so that is that, and we'll finish up the questions with Sammy Ryan, who is a man I have never met, but he's a big fan, and he's chatted on the Discord.
Yeah,
he's our
on the
man.
Discord, yeah.
If you're not in our Discord, that's a good way to let us know you listen. Slide into our DMs, be a part of the Discord. You can do what Sam has done, and he's given us some ideas through the Discord,
Yeah.
which will be running out over the next couple of weeks, specifically on YouTube. He's gone, what was your favourite episode to record and why? This is big. I really like that question.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Mine personally, Craig's.
Oh yeah.
Craig's
forgot about
episode was great fun, and it was the most well received as well. It's good when you do something that you really like, and then you realize that heaps of other people like it as well.
Yeah.
It's got stacks of views on YouTube. It's broken records on the audio platforms, and it was sick fun.
Not just for us, for all podcasts. I think my favorite to do might have been the first leftovers that we did, because it was very like spur of the moment. We were just in your room, Riley wasn't there, and we were just doing all the...
I wasn't there.
We were doing the intros and
I
then
wasn't
like
there.
listening back to these like funny moments. Riley wasn't there. It was
I wasn't
great.
there.
I do enjoy the leftovers. We've got another
We also-
leftovers like in the bank ready to go for...
Yeah, there's some good ones with that. Some of those bits that we've had to cut are,
Could,
like
like,
my
stand
favorite
alone, yeah.
bits, yeah.
My favourite?
Yeah.
Episode 2.
What happened in that?
I think that was the one where we talked about Olivia passed her driving test. And we were talking about driving.
Driving test
And
tales
that was like
and
the-
our
that was
first
the
multi-fails.
That was like the first story I told. And I was like, oh, this is like...
Because we got a
It's
lot
good
of
fun.
feedback from the first ones. Was like...
Riley there?
Riley don't really talk. about it.
It probably wasn't a great episode, but like...
Oh, I really liked the episode where you kept on saying that girl's
Oh,
name.
that was fun.
That was
That story was fun.
Yeah, Riley breaks the podcast rule or something. We're fools,
Yeah.
and Riley breaks the only podcast
I
rule.
think-
That was good.
I think I might have been like crying of laughter.
We've had some good moments. I really do like the leftovers because you get such a mishmash of shit. And it's like, all right, well, this happened in like 3 months ago. This happened last week. And you get to tile it all out. And because we record the little intro bits for each segment, and then we listen back, and we get more
It's good, yeah.
satisfaction out
Gotcha.
of listening back. They're probably our favorite episodes,
Yeah, I think
the
so.
leftovers, like in regards to what they are.
And it's
It's
sad
the
because
blooper reel, but it's funny as
as
fuck.
we get better at doing it,
There's less.
there's less. Obviously, there hasn't been one in ages because we've been kind of perfect lately.
But it also comes down to availability as well. Like we'll put out leftovers if we can't do an episode that week, like because it's easy.
Like when I
just
go on
to-
my road trip
yeah, which is happening.
in June.
So yeah, leftovers 3 maybe only a month away.
Things to look forward to.
Very exciting. Thank you all for sending your messages through. They're the ones we'll get to at the moment. And if you've got any questions, slide into our DMs and we'll answer them next week. All right, boys, we're going to wrap up this week's episode of the MacPack Podcast, episode 33, the Jeff Farmer special.
Hell yeah.
With our everyday hero. Now, the everyday hero, for those playing along at home, we've got a fair few new listeners. So the TikTokies are going off and then people jump on to season 2 and they start listening. I would imagine there's a few people who don't know what an everyday hero is because we probably haven't spoken about
Spell it out for him, Jake.
what it takes to be an everyday hero. An everyday hero is basically just somebody who does a good deed, does a good gesture, or just does something good for humanity, which improves someone else's life off the back of their act. Now, we've had some rippers over the journey. We've had some shockers over the journey. We've had some quizzical ones, mainly by you, Joe. And
Look at me like that.
where you'll say, me and Riley look at each other and go,
Oh.
I don't think anyone's told him what an everyday hero is.
Yeah, so we said that just for Joe.
This week's story is it's very simple. It was a very quick gesture, but it's one that could have saved me a lot of a mullet.
Ooh.
So I was at one of our clients during the week. I was there before I got to work, so I just went straight from home there.
Yep.
And then from the client to the office. Now in Freo, paid parking is a thing.
Yep.
And it's a lot of money as well.
Yeah, it's not super cheap. But do you know what else isn't cheap? Getting a fine.
Parking tickets. Hate them.
I've had a few times where like I use the app, and I've thought I've done it.
Yeah.
Because I do it every day, and I've forgotten a few times.
Yeah, I was like that at Curtin.
And it's not until you're walking back to your car and you go, oh fuck.
Oh, shucks. One thing I always do is don't
Do it
turn
in
it off.
I'm the same. Yeah. I also just now do it in my car before I get out because I used to do it. I was like, oh, I would just like run into work and do it when I get in.
Yeah.
But then you
gotta
don't.
stay on top of it.
You forget. On this occasion, I saw the parking inspector walking around. He was just down the road from where I was parking.
Yeah.
And I've parked up next to a car that a bloke was about to get into, but he was having a chat with another bloke.
Yeah.
And so I'm just sitting on my phone, like putting in the parking thing so that my parking is on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As I do, like I'm a digital marketing guy.
Yes.
I'm going to use the app. I'm not going to get up and use the paper stuff. I'm
none
not
of
gonna,
that.
I'm not going to trundle over to the machine and press the button, especially in this
What is this, the 90s?
especially in this climate. You get all the germs. You get the COVID if you press the buttons.
Mm.
So I'm sitting there on my phone, and these two are having a conversation. I'm like it's not awkward, but it's like they're waiting for me to get out. I'm not getting out, and it was like when you had to wear the mask as well, all that crap. So I get out and just sort of like give one of them the nod and grab my bag and just start walking to work, and get like maybe 5-10 steps down the road, and one of the boys, not the dude who I nodded at, the other guy, just goes, "Hey mate." And I've I've turned around and gone like, this could be anything.
Here we go.
Like,
If some random guy in the street of Freo.
Exactly, it is Freo.
And I've spun around and he goes, "Mate, there's parking inspector down the end there." And I was like, "Oh, cruisy."
Aw.
He's like, "Yeah, mate, just make sure you get a ticket." And I was just like, "Oh, I've done it on
He saw you get out of the car and not go.
yeah, because I've done it on the app." And I was like, "Oh, brother, like I've done it on the app, but like massive props, like cheers for that," because he's spotted it.
Yeah.
Fine incoming.
And wait,
But I jumped him.
he's
I'd already done it.
not. He's not parking like he's not going to your office. Different random bloke.
Yeah. There's quite a lot of
A
public,
random
public. Yeah, I'll probably never see that man again.
A good Samaritan.
But he would have saved me a lot of cash, because if anyone else was in that position, they didn't use the app, they would have just hopped up, strolled on out, bang, there's like 150 bucks
There's the
fine.
day's earnings.
So for that man, didn't have to do it and took a leap of faith to
Yeah.
hope
He
to
took a
assume, like he may have known he could have used the app, but he just did the double check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when $150 on the line,
Gotta make sure.
do the fucking double check. All right, do the double check. All right, boys, that brings us to the end of episode 33. As I mentioned before, the Jeff Farmer episode of the MacPack podcast.
Iconic.
We have services that we have available to the public at this point in time. We have the podcast on all audio platforms. We have the YouTube channel, which if you haven't used yet, use this episode, because we're going to have videos of the music video that we did.
Videos galore.
Videos galore, essentially. What else? Will there be other videos for anything else on this?
The photo of Nick's crashed Jag.
Yeah, there'll be that. And there'll be a heap of other stuff that Riley will just like litter in. We're also on TikTok, which goes off every now and then. We have some big videos, and then we have some pretty like mediocre. Like the quality is no different. It's just the amount of people who seem to engage with the stuff.
Yeah.
All
TikTok's like
so
the
get on
same.
there, engage, share it with your friends. What else have we got going on? We've got the Discord. If you want to be part of the Discord, let us know. You can slide into our DMs on Instagram. You can slide into them on Facebook, and leave us a review on Apple Pods.
Oh, yes, please do.
It's been ages since we had a good quality review on Apple Pods. So
Blue Collar
make
Dogs
sure you
video
head there.
in the works as well.
Yes, which I'm super excited about.
This is going to be a funny one.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's less. Wendy's was really good.
Not funny though. Oh, it was funny. But it
No,
wasn't
funny, but like in a different way. than
Yeah,
what
this
was
was like a
gonna
funny-
be.
When we
story.
told this story on...
we were crying.
Yeah, I've had people message me saying that they were like
Yeah,
literally
wetting
in
themselves.
tears.
Oh.
So yeah, the Blue Collar
sweet.
Dogs video is coming as well. But yes, if
And-
there's a key takeaway from this, tell one person that you know about the MacPack podcast. Put them on. Share them. You can do it right now. If you're listening to this, just hit the little share button in the corner of the screen. Just ping it to one other person. Say, hey,
People were,
this is really good. I think you'd enjoy.
people were sharing our post last week as well.
Yeah, that's
The
so
Among
cute.
Us post. They must have liked it.
Yeah, very
That
exciting.
little
Legends.
piece of graphic design
Yeah,
mastery
Joey
that I
made.
cooked up.
Absolute genius stuff.
Also, this is a bit of a blast from the past, but we've got that March Madness video just sitting in the iMovie.
Yeah, we're going to wait till
Finished.
next March to release it. Is that what's going to
That's
happen?
it.
Jesus Christ. Boys, it's been an absolute pleasure to sit next to the two of you.
Always is.
Until next week, stay safe, stay west. And this week, as it is Mother's Day,
It is.
the actual day of recording is Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day,
Happy
Mama.
Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. It's a belated one by the time you're watching this. But, as we say each and every week, please make sure that you
Go give your mama a hug.
ciao for now, but not forever.